Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. You can probably hear the chirping of crickets. It is getting fairly late in the evening here. The corn has just become ready to harvest, but it is 8 in the evening. And I think I'm going to wait until morning to do that. I just wanted to let you guys get a look of the farm at night. I think Stevie did a great job with the illumination. The sheds all have lights. We've got this overhead light here, or actually a couple overhead lights here throughout the farm. So everything's nicely lit in the evening, which I think is great. So if you did want to work when it's dark, you certainly could. Got a lot of lights here on the silos. Yeah, really nice. Really nice. So what I'm going to do is go inside and sleep until morning. I hope that nothing will wither if I wait that long. I did finish the soy harvest over here on, pardon me, over here on field 1. And I planted canola. And the canola is growing. We are ready to put more fertilizer on it, so we'll do that in the morning as well. I just wanted to check for weeds. No weeds yet, but I'm sure we'll probably have to spray for weeds before too long. And now I have to run back to the house. Here, let's turn on the flashlight. So we'll go back to the house. I'll sleep for 10 hours. That'll take us to 6 a.m. I think it won't be fully light out by then, but it'll be close enough for me. Where's the front door? Oh yeah, that's over here. Oh, and I did go back and read again on Stevie's description of the map. And he did say that he adjusted the capacity of the egg boxes to hold more, so that's why they haven't appeared until just now. Let's take a look and see how much we get in there. 51 liters. Okay, so it'll take longer for these boxes to appear, but they do hold more. Okay, so now it's morning. It's still kind of dark, but we'll go ahead and get started anyway. I also mounted up the mowers on the case so that we could start mowing the grass around the field. All right, let's turn on our lights. This vehicle has 4 levels of illumination. So there's one, which is just the driving lights essentially. That turns on the rear lights, that turns on the front and side lights, and then the 4th one turns on another set of side lights on the right side. Oh, I think that's the light on the end of the pipe. All right, so let's unfold it. Yeah, there we go. So there's a light on the end of the pipe, which makes sense. And then we'll unfold our header. Let me just check the field state here. Okay. Yeah, I think we're on the second. We're on the second stage. We do need to weed field 1. But I think I can afford to speed up time a little bit so we can get a little more daylight. Okay, and we'll set the worker on that and start getting our corn. Excellent. Let's go over to the T6 and get him started on the fertilization. Oh, I did test it, and you can't fertilize immediately after seeding. It doesn't work. So you have to wait. That's why I was always waiting for the next growth phase, but I didn't remember. Okay, but now we should be getting our second fertilizer stage. Okay, and we can see that we're going to have to plow field 2 since we did corn. If you go to the help menu, pardon me, down here where it says improving yield, the last point there, plow after corn, potatoes, sugar beets, and sugarcane. So every time we plant corn, we're going to have to plow again. And if you do root crops, you have to plow every time as well. So when we're done with that harvest, we'll have to plow the field, of course. Okay. So you can see corn's got a higher yield per hectare than soy does by quite a lot. So we'll have to empty this out several times, I'm sure. Looks like weeds are now growing behind the harvester. Oh, let's slow the time back down to 1. And have I got a vehicle free for spraying weeds? No, I'm going to have to let the T6 finish, and then we'll get the sprayer on it and spray the weeds on field 1 with the T6. All right, so I think we can... let me show you real quick how much money we made yesterday on the crops. So if we look at Tuesday, we got $221,000 from the soybeans on field 1, which is pretty great. It's more than I expected, and it was enough to pay back the money that we borrowed for the mowing equipment, and we've got $130,000 in the bank. One thing I would like to start saving up for is the purchase of field 6, which is $672,000. So it's not cheap, but it is a really lovely field. Let's go over here and take a look. I did a contract on it yesterday, a cultivating contract. And I really like it. It's got a nice, odd shape. It's not rectangular. It comes close to the edges. So it's an ideal field to use course play on. And it's rather large. I'm not sure exactly. 12 hectares. So it's bigger than field 1 or field 2. So I think that would be a great thing to shoot for next. And maybe we'll do the spraying contract. That pays a pretty nice amount of money, $20,000. Yep, I think I will do that contract. I'll accept it now while I still can. And then when we're done spraying our own field, we'll go spray that one. Let's see how the T6 is doing. Okay, well, we're almost halfway done. It won't take too long to do this. Okay, yeah, and see, we're almost full already. Let's go over here and get it emptied before it tries to turn around on us. I'm not going to get there in time. Stop. Okay, and as usual, I need to turn off my GPS lines. Okay, there we go. So like we've done with the other crops, I'll use the first trailer load to top off the pigs. And I think I'll probably, since I think the pigs consume corn faster than any other ingredient, so I'll probably leave some behind in the silo as well, just so that we can refeed them before before we decide to grow another corn crop. Now we can also use corn to make silage with, but we would need a forage harvester, and those are not inexpensive. As you can see, the least expensive one is $305,000, and they go up from there. Oh no, the least expensive one is the Big X 580. Let's take a look at the headers that are available. Here we go. The Easy Flow, that's for the Big X. So the New Holland has well, we don't want those. We want the we want the chaff headers, which are these. All right, so the Big X 580 will take this one. That's 6 meters wide. That's not bad. Yeah, I think, that 580 might be a good way to go to begin with. I mean, 6 meters is not that big, but it is fairly inexpensive. All right, let's check on the fertilizing again. We got a few more passes to go. All right, so I think we can stop wasting time and let's start mowing. So what I'll do is I'll just mow all around this field. And I'll turn at least some of it into hay. I don't know if I'll do all of it. And then we'll rake it and pick it up. I think I might want to leave some of it to put into the silage pit so that we can make silage with it. So maybe we'll do like half and half. Okay, lower. Turn it on, and I'll go this way. Yeah, it looks like these trees are going to limit what I can do on this side. Try not to cut down my corn. I don't know if you can actually cut the crop with the mower. Let's try it. No, it doesn't look like it. So that's good. Now, if you were to get field 3, seems like it would be possible to join these fields, but you would have to do some forestry first. I'm not going to rule that out. I've never really been interested in the forestry aspect of the game. I I've tried it once or twice, and I just found that handling the logs was kind of a pain, so I never really got into it too much. But you know, if we're just going to do it once or twice to expand fields, then I wouldn't be opposed to it. All right, let me see if I can stop that harvester. Okay. Let's get... No, don't do that. I want the pipe out. There we go. Jump into it Duke Boys style. I'm really glad that they decided to change the way that crop destruction works and not make it affect grass. It used to be that when you drove over grass with your vehicles, you would leave a path. You know, it would basically take the grass back to the first growth stage. And everywhere you would drive, there would be evidence of where you've gone. But I like that you can safely drive over grass without destroying anything now. Okay. Let's get out of the way. Okay, and it looks like the fertilizing is done, so we can get started with the spraying of herbicide. I just want to check and... Okay, good. It shut itself off. I didn't want to leave it running, because then you just get hours on your equipment for no reason. Okay, so let's go drop this off. Am I going the right way? Yeah. We'll drop this off. We'll hook up the sprayer, which I think you guys haven't seen working yet. So you'll get to see how the sprayer works. It's quite nice. You know, it still only goes 12 kph across the field, which is kind of slow, but it is 50% wider than the Hardy sprayer that I was using in the last series. So it gets the job done a little bit quicker. I would still very much like to upgrade to the self-propelled Hardy sprayer at some point. That thing is just an awesome machine. Okay. And we're using the New Holland for these jobs just because that's the one that I've got. I mean, I wouldn't mind using the Puma or something bigger, but this is the one that I've got narrow tires on. So I think we'll just probably leave this with narrow tires. It doesn't look as silly as the other ones do with narrow tires. Okay, and we'll go fill this up. And on this map, the fill point is right here. And you know what? I think I'm going to buy the front tank that goes with this. Well, it doesn't go with it, but I think it's meant to go with the Deltas, but it will still work with the Metris. So we'll go ahead and buy that. We'll get Mrs. Jenkins to deliver it for us. I need to make a cheat sheet with the names of the characters that I'm inventing. Yeah, because I think the last time I sprayed field 1, I think I ran short on herbicide. I could be wrong. I don't know. My memory's a little bit fuzzy, but I remember at some point thinking that I wanted more capacity. Okay. And we can see that all of our filthy animals are making a mess again, so we'll have to clean up. I did look around to see if there's a table manners mod for FS19. I did find a mod that purports to do that. You know, to keep the troughs clean automatically. But it was on a mod site that I'm not familiar with. And I tend to shy away from getting mods from, you know, some of these mod sites that are really spammy and full of clickbait ads. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get it. I'll take another look later on. Let's see. That looks just about perfect. Okay. Off you go. I think that tank's got lights on the front, which is cool since it blocks the headlights. Okay, grain tank is full again. So we're going to have to back away from the corn. Turn off that beacon. And I think this might be the last load that we can take on this trip. We should be able to get most of the way emptied, if not completely empty. All right. Okay. Let's go empty this out, and like I said, we'll stop by the pig pen on the way and get them topped off with corn. And then we'll put the rest in the silo. And then hopefully we'll be able to get back to the mowing. Alright, so I'll just turn this way and then I'll back up. That way I won't have to realign myself to get to the silo. Oh, I can't quite lean out that far. It's one of the great things about head tracking. You can sometimes get angles that you wouldn't normally be able to get to. Okay. So that should take care of those pigs for 10 days. Of course, the pigs do multiply fairly quickly, so 10 days today was not going to be necessarily 9 days tomorrow, if you know what I mean. Let's see how many pigs we have now. I think we should have 12. Yeah, we've got 12 now. And we'll have another before the day's done. And all the other animals are doing fine. It looks like on supplies, the cows are going to need straw. Yeah, the cows need to be fed soon, so we're going to have to start to... think about how we're going to feed cows. I suppose I should buy a loading or a mixing wagon, rather, so that we can make feed. You know, or like I said the other day, it's, you know, we could always consider just feeding them hay and silage, and we'll get, I think you can get up to 80% productivity with that and not even bother with the TMR. Of course, if you have hay and silage, no, you know, I think you can get to 80% with only hay, without the silage. Because if you have hay and silage, then you can make TMR. So I think it's that you can feed them hay only and get them up to 80%. Maybe we can test that out. Or maybe it's silage only. I don't remember. Let's just get this harvester emptied out, and then we'll get back to mowing. The cow should be okay for at least another couple days. All right. There are UFOs coming to my cow pen. There we go. Untag. Wow, those weeds really really make a big difference in the appearance of the field, don't they? Okay. So we'll turn that on, and let's get back to mowing. Okay, now I'm not going to bother going down this side of the field again, since it's mostly only one track. I mean, there's a little bit of extra grass here that we could get, but I think it's not worth it. So we'll just mow this little section here, and then we'll go back up to back over to the east end of the field and get the grass over there. And then, you know, I think what I'll do is I'll just turn all this into hay, and then we can mow the grass around field 1 and use that for silage, as well as just plain grass to feed the sheep. Yeah, in fact, I think what I'll do is we'll just collect regular grass on the other field. I'll just top off the sheep, and I'll put all the rest of it into one of the silage clamps. And then we can turn that into silage, some of which we can use to feed the cows, and maybe we'll take some of it to the BGA and sell it. Since we own the BGA now, we can do that. In fact, if we're going to get a forage harvester, or even if we get an expensive mower, the big Krona mower, maybe we could buy one of the fields close to the BGA and just, get a silage operation going up there. I think that might be interesting to do and probably would be profitable. Or you could use a forage harvester and do corn silage. Although that takes a lot more equipment and a bit more work. But you do get more yield. For a given bit of land, you can get a lot more chaff by doing corn with a forage harvester than you can by doing grass on the same field. So that's that's the motivation for upgrading your equipment to make chaff from corn. You just get a lot more silage out of the same amount of land. And it looks like you can use the mower to take out weeds. That's interesting to know. All right, so it looks like we'll get a pretty decent amount of grass from just cutting around this field. And with the number of animals that we have right now, I think I don't really see the need in having a dedicated field for grass. Maybe later when we have a lot more sheep and cows and horses, that will change, but for now, I think we're doing pretty good. I think I just heard a seagull. Yeah, I did. There's a freight vessel going by in the river there. I should really go and empty my harvester. We don't want to slow down the harvest. Okay, and let's go see how our spraying is coming along. Why are you turning right here? That's odd. Yeah, the AI worker seems to have a bit of an issue with this section of the field. I've noticed, I don't know if it was during the harvest or when I was seeding, but it was the AI workers didn't like this corner of the field. So I'll just do this part manually, and then I'll get it lined up for the last pass and then let it go. I suppose I didn't need this front tank for field 1, but it's good to have it, especially if I'm going to do spraying contracts. Okay, I might be leaving a little bit there on the end. No, it looks like it's getting it all. Okay, good enough. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, I think that is going to do it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Once I finish with this job here, I will refill the tanks and then go do the contract on field 6. Oh, field 6 is the one that I said that I wanted to buy, right? This one across the street from us. And because of the shape, I think I will use course play to do that. And then we'll finish the corn harvest. I'll wait to come back before I sell the corn. Let's see where corn should be sold. Looks like we've got a few choices that all have similar prices around the 1,300 range. So in that case, we got Animal Supplies, Grain Elevator East, and Port Southeast. Okay, so I think I'll take it to Animal Supplies just because that's the closest one. Now we do have this rail silo here, so any place that's accessible by rail, we can unload here, and that's fairly close to the farm too. I think it was Port Southeast, it said, right? Yeah, we can't get there. We can't get there by rail. We can get to Grain Elevator East. That's where I sold the soybeans, actually. But in this case, I think we'll just take it over to Animal Supplies with the truck. Okay, and don't miss that last bit. Come on. There we go. All right, and we're all done with that job. And nearly done with this one. So I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.